Namaskar, friends. This is NJ, your host on this channel. So, friends, in this video, we will have our discussion on the good and bad karmas and how to connect it with Vedic astrology. Now, the two primary tools via which we are able to get a glimpse into someone's life is what kind of dasha this person is going through and in which capacity transit might be influencing this person. So, we will be trying to connect Vedic astrology through the interpretation or assessment or analysis of karma in someone's life. Because, friends, this month of November is very special. Rahu is about to enter in its own nakshatra Sadbisha. Saturn, which is currently in a retrograde motion in the Pisces, but Saturn is also going to be turning direct very soon. So that means the whole astrology community is talking about these two karmic planets. All the experts are giving their opinions, their views, their predictions. So that definitely also inspired me to talk about this as well because, like yesterday only, I actually have to give thanks or credit for this video to one of the subscriber who suggested me this in the comment section. So I thought this might be divine sent uh, signal, sign, or omen that we have to talk about this. And friends, like when we talk about the karma, because this whole presentation has been compiled with the flavors of the Hindu gods, like Vedic, Sanatan, Dharma, culture, you will definitely see over here. But obviously, when we talk about the karma, it's about your actions, your deeds, which is which is not related with your faith, with your religion. So I mean to say, all the principle of karma can be attached with the rules and laws of the nature, which is equally applicable whether you are a Christian, whether you are a Sikh, whether you are a Muslim, it hardly matters. So, okay, friends, now we will start our discussion. I have compiled this presentation for all of us. Okay, so yes, now I'm sure you will be seeing this. So yeah, friends, there are like certain slides based on which we will understand this discussion. So the first slide is good and bad karmas with transit and dasha period. So, friends, your life events during dashas and transit are not random luck. They are scheduled karmic settlements. And that is the only reason I always say this thing that people who are going through any of the ordeal or struggle being created by Saturn or any of the areas where life has actually made you very detached, and there are like certain things which, irrespective of you being a strong contender, life is not giving it to you. So that could be the domain of the Ketu. So in all these areas, more than the prediction, an astrologer actually needs to give the counseling and the guidance. And somehow spirituality plays a very integral role. It actually makes you understand that whatever is happening, that's happening for a larger picture, like universe, planets want you to connect with your higher purpose. All that struggle which you are currently going through, it is serving for something much bigger, which with the passage of time we get to know about it. So yes, in this presentation I will talk about and we will connect all these like in which capacity, what kind of karma from the past might be your currently active dasha bringing. So all of that you will get to know in this presentation. So yes, your life events, what you experience through dasha or transit, they are not just something which happened just as a fluke, as a luck, as a random luck. So they are scheduled karmic settlement in the universe, in the cosmos, in the nature. Everything happens with a perfect plan and perfect divine timing. Now, friends, so Dasha. So first we will pick up the Dasha, then we will like get into the decoding the transit. So Dasha is like it gives you a karma which you must experience. Now, Dashas do not create events. They activate the karmas already stored in your subtle body in the form of the Sanchit karma. And that is the only reason, like many of the saints, if you will listen to their like biography, you will read their biography, you will get to know that all that sanskara and love towards the divine and the holy things was a part of their early childhood activities, behavior, inclination, and liking. And that is the only reason some of the famous, like a musician, when they are born, they have somehow that sort of inclination and liking towards that specific instrument, which is going to, in future, in times ahead, is going to give them that mega fame. So that means whatever is there as a part of our Sanchat Karma, the seeds with which you are born, so it's the Dasha which activate that. But they're not bringing something out of thin air. It's something which is already stored in your subtle body. Now, friends, when a planet's dasha runs, so you face the type of karma that planet represents in your chart. So, for example, um, like if you are running the dasha of the planet Sun, so what karma can Sun activate in your life? So, this could be the concern of the leadership, ego, father. Now comes the question that based on the dignity of the sun in your chart, your struggle, your experiences will hover around these attributes only. So let's say, for example, if your sun is very strengthened, so this could be the time that in the sun's dasha, in the running time period, you might get a promotion. Or if sun is afflicted in the chart, so the karma which will get activated, which is already stored in your subtle body, this might be fall from the grace, sudden defamation. Same is the case when we talk about the moon. So karma which gets activated through the moon in the moon dasha, it is like more of the emotions. It has to do with your relationship with the mother. I will elaborate all these points in the next few slides. And it also tells about the mental samskaras as well. So that also tells about that your mind somehow is getting inclined towards specific hobbies, interest, and you are developing certain habits right after the activation of the moon dasha. When we talk about the Mars dasha, so the karma which can get activated, it might has to do with the repressed anger, which could also take up the shape of like setting up your goals and working hard with complete discipline. This could be the matters of the courage, either like getting that confidence and not being getting affected by the competitors. Or this could be a case that now in the Mars dasha, because Mars is not well placed in your chart, you are getting heavy debts. Or this could be the case of like now you are very timid, or you are getting into a lot of the accidents. And this karma which has got activated, it has something to do with the past. Like let's say, for example, if the Mars dasha got activated, and in that activated Mars dasha, because your Mars is not very well placed in the chart, and your siblings, your brother, they usurped your property, they like somehow duped you, conned you, and they took control over your property. So this could be a case that in the some of the past lifetime, this is something which you might have done to your own siblings. So this is how the karma and the interplay of the karma works. When we talk about the Mercury, so the karma which gets activated, it has to do with the communication, it has to do with the business. Like the way people say that in the Mercury Disha, a lot of the people they start getting some good ideas. Their networking skill tend to remain very strong. Some people start demonstrating expertise over specific languages. So this is something which is already there in your subtle body, and which is in the activation of the Mercury, that karma is getting activated. When we talk about the Jupiter Dasha, so the karma which can get activated, it is of like, it can give you blessing and virtues which comes from the past. If it's about the Venus, so love, karma, spouse, pleasure, art, interest, like you become very tasteful in the Venus Dasha. And you, people around you make you feel happy, make you feel good, make you feel comfortable, secured. If it is Saturn, so there are like specific slides for Saturn, Rahu, Ketu, which you will see. So the karma which gets activated in the Saturn Dasha, it is about the past life karmic debts, discipline, and suffering that teaches you. That is the only reason I'm saying this thing, that see, the case is that if someone is actually going through the hardship, being in the influence of the planet Saturn, these people tend to remain either spiritual right from the beginning, that is a part of their natural personality, or Saturn's hardship make them spiritual. But what I'm trying to say that being an astrologer, people who are going through the Saturn dasha or Saturn Sati, giving them counseling becomes more important more than the prediction, because again this is the kind of a period which actually shapes up or builds up your character. So when we talk about planet Rahu, so what can Rahu activate? The karma which gets activated through Rahu. So it has to do with the unfinished desires, which is there as a part of your stored in your subtle body, the Sanchit karma from the past, things which you wanted very badly and earnestly. So this could be for some people, this might be fame, this might be wealth, this might be many like relations. So that we get to know, that is something which gets activated in the dasha of the Rahu. Obsession, foreign karmas. With Ketu, this could be past life detachment. With Ketu, this could be liberation lessons. Now, friends, so we have understood slightly about the role which Dasha plays, the planetary time period, activated time period plays. Now comes the question about then where in this whole combination and study transit fits. So transit actually tells about how the karma arrives. So if Dasha is the karma, then transit are the delivery system. So, example, if you are in the Saturn Dasha, so you must learn maturity. And that is the only reason, friends, like Saturn wants you to be ready and mature, because when that opportunity arrives, Saturn does not want you to lose out on that, because whatever Saturn gives us, it prepares thing. First of all, it prepares the reward, then it prepares you, and then it blends and matches both the entities. Because unless and until you're not ready, the opportunity will come, but it might slip away from your hand as well. And Saturn wants to ensure that whatever I give you, you are ready and you are eligible for that. You are right contender for that. So we say that generally, when Saturn transit over the moon, this could be the emotional struggle. When Saturn transit over your 10th house, this could be the job pressure. When Saturn aspect on Venus, this could be the relationship discipline. So the concern over it is that Saturn acts like a teacher. So which has a cane, has a stick in the hand as well. So that means when Saturn is transiting over your moon, and you are a kind of person who like, you are like a crybaby, everyone's pain, everyone's problem, you make it your own problem, or you are too sensitive, too timid, too impressionable. So that means this is the area where Saturn is actually going to be working on to you. So through emotional struggle, it is actually trying to make you more stronger. And with the 10th house, this could be the job pressure, which could come with the position, but it is not going to be very cushy or very comforting job. It is going to be filled with a lot of the pressure where you have to prove your mettle. So now, friends, now when we talk about the good versus bad karma, as shown clearly with the combination of the dashas and the transit. So good karma transit. What could be the good karma transit? So we generally say that whenever Jupiter is aspecting the moon or the lagna. So friends, you would get to know that in this whole slide, in this whole presentation, whatever good and bad we are talking about, it just like that, it is something which is already there within you. It's like the storage or the reservoir of your own actions done in the past. It's just like that good karma from that account, bank account of yours, of your karma, will access and extract the rewards, blessings. And the bad karma transit, which I will tell you about what could be the combination for that, it will only take out something as a part of the suffering, as a form of the learning. But whatever good is happening in your life, whatever bad is happening in your life, you have in some lifetime sown the seed of that. So generally, now we have to understand it not from a spiritual standpoint of view, but purely from the astrology standpoint of view. And obviously, if you are spiritual and you know astrology, this is a win-win combination. So the good karma transit, generally we say that whenever Jupiter is aspecting the moon or the lagna, when Venus and Jupiter influence is there on your seventh house, first house, fifth house, ninth house. Benefit planets transiting your own nakshatra. We generally say that when like Jupiter generally, because now right now it's an exception because Jupiter is in a atichari motion. It's moving very fast. It is exceptionally staying more time, spending more time in the Punarvasu. But even this year, like Jupiter's transit to Pushya is going to be hardly 2 months. Then it will move to the Ashlesha as well. But I'm trying to say that when the benefic planets like Jupiter, it transit over your own nakshatra, it has the capacity from the bank account, reservoir of your karma of past many lifetimes, it can access, extract something good and give it to you during that time. When Saturn finishes Sade Sati or the Ashtama Shani, I recently made a video on this as well. That in which capacity in 2026 this could be good year for the Aquarius moon people, because the common norm which is believed and followed in astrology is that Saturn, before wrapping up the Sade Sati, 7.5 years of the test and trials of the life, before leaving you, releasing you from its clutches, in the last phase of 2.5 years, it somehow gives you something very substantial as a reward, as a pat on your shoulder that you have survived me. Now, let me give you something as a form of the recognition or reward, letter of like appreciation. So, yeah. When we talk about the good karma transit, all these combination, they generally and they can bring blessings, marriage, wealth, children, reputation, and peace. Now, the bad karma transit. So now when Saturn is transiting over your moon, Sadesati, the first phase of it, when Saturn is 12th from your moon, and the second phase, which is the toughest, when Saturn is transiting right over your moon. And friends, I can assure you, these are the times when those kind of events happen in the life of the people, where no matter how cautious, vigilant, and careful these people are, somehow they end up making grave mistake, losing big sum of money, losing a job, losing a partner. So just like that, it was meant to happen. And through this, somehow your actions and your life and your soul is getting purified. So a spiritual person never looked at his hardship and struggle as a punishment. But a spiritual person sees the struggle as the purification. I couldn't tell you these things like just because I do not interact with many people over here living in Vancouver, but back in India, I couldn't tell you how many times I have heard this thing, people saying this thing. Oh, Nipun, like I have like a housewife telling me that my mother-in-law torments me, tortures me a lot. But somehow then at the back of my mind, I think that let it be. This could be a result of my own karma in the past. I might have given suffering to someone, so now all my karmas are getting resolved. So rather than doing something more in retribution and creating more karmas, a spiritual person make peace with it. So knowing that becomes very important. So there I was talking about, friends. So bad karma transit generally, pure astrological terms, can be seen through when Saturn transit over your moon. Sadesati, 8th from moon. Rahu Ketu's transit over sun, moon, Lagan, and the Venus. Now, again, friends, you have to be spiritual to know the cost which you have to pay for all of your actions. Because here we are talking about Rahu. So even for all the pleasures, this could come with a cost as well. So like someone who has suddenly become like rich and started living a very flamboyant lifestyle, spoiled all of his good virtues, spoiled the name of his family, even got his health negatively affected. Why? Because whatever Rahu brought in the form of the sudden windfall, financial gain, fame, recognition, the person was not ready enough to handle that. So that is the only reason, because Rahu Ketu's transit over the ascendant, over the Venus, has been put in the bad karma transit slide, not in the good karma transit slide. Because you would be saying and you would be feeling that type when you tell in your videos that when Rahu transit over the Venus or when Rahu transit over the Lagna, it can give fame, it can give completely turn around your life. That is true. But from a spiritual standpoint, it is not a kind of a life event which will purify you or which will elevate your character, unless and until the whole chart is not very spiritual. And obviously evolutionary level of the soul, a lot of things goes into picture. But yes, Rahu's transit over the moon, over the Lagna, over the Venus has this potential and capacity from the reservoir of all of your actions, consolidated actions, karma from past many lifetimes, access something and bring it out in front of you, which might on surface looks like to be materially very rich, but from your character point of view might be degrading. Mars's transit over the 8th, over the 12th, or expecting the 4th or 7th. So it can actually, very violently, it can bring some kind of accidents, clashes can happen. And nodes afflicting yogas. So we say that Rahu's transit from the 12th house is sensitive, like Ketu's transit from the 6th house can actually, or second house can actually create a issue in the income and flow of the income. So nodes afflicting yogas. Now, so the bad karma transit, these bring separation, delays, surgery, legal issue, and the mental stress. So bad karma here means it does not always mean punishment. It means purification. Making peace with, see, you are just paying the bill for something you have done by yourself. It's not like that someone else ate in that restaurant and now you are paying the bill on that person's behalf. This is something which you have done in some lifetime and you are paying for that. Now, friends, so karma cleansing mechanism. So, you see, because I've included Saturn, Rahu, Ketu only here because I'm sure this is the one area where a lot of the people need guidance because they're suffering. And the only time you start thinking about your own deeds, your own karmas, doing that, in that self introspection mode, only when Saturn, Rahu, Ketu are creating some problem. 90% of the times when everything is going good in the life, you would hardly find people, at least people who are like spiritual, I'm sure they know that how to be grateful and show their gratitude. But in most of the people, they forget everything when life is going very good. It's only when Saturn, Rahu, Ketu start creating problems, a lot of the soul and self search start happening, and which can actually lead towards all these things which you have to understand. So Saturn, the karma cleansing mechanism of Saturn, Rahu, Ketu. So Saturn cleanses by delay, discipline, and the patience. With Rahu, Rahu can cleanse you by desire, chaos, ego exposure. So it can actually make you, or it can, to a certain extent, can also fulfill so many of your wishes and so much of your desires that you get to know the the lack of the depth in it. So this could be a case that there is one thing that it's like a bubble, which, like, whenever the rain is happening, water on the ground, it start having those bubbles, but they are very temporary, they are very volatile. So this is what the nature of Rahu is, that it can cleanse you like that. If you have been, like, your chart in itself, your planetary alignment in itself tells about that this person is very passionate, this person is very much driven towards the carnal desires. This is what which keeps on going on in his mind all the time. So during the period or the phase of the Rahu, it might give you many relationship, but through that it can cleanse you, that it will make you realize the short term happiness which you get through sex and all, or which you get through, like, fame or through wealth. When it comes down to Ketu, so Ketu can cleanse by separation, with detachment, and with the spiritual truth. So, friends, Saturn, Ketu, and Rahu, they are the main karmic cleaning agents beyond any doubt. They remove ego by intensifying attachment until you let go. Now, when we talk about the good karma manifestation, so how the good karma manifest. So, generally, astrologically, if you have to connect astrology with it, so it's the Jupiter and Venus which deliver the good past life karma. So they can give you a right partner in terms of marriage and all. They can actually give you, like, good teacher, guru, that in all the life testing times, whenever you are in the life crossroad, you will have the right people to guide you. Very obedient children who will add more name, fame, glory to your family name, prosperity, creativity, strong ethics, wisdom, and most importantly, protection in the accidents and the diseases. So, again, friends, you would have realized that in a way, all that which is happening in your life in the form of the struggles, pain, and suffering, which is being caused by Saturn, Rahu, Ketu, or all of that which is good happening in your life through good deeds done by you through Jupiter and Venus, in a way, it is just the payback. It's just like that with Saturn, Rahu, Ketu. It's not a punishment. Our own deeds are getting nullified. We are being purified. And with Jupiter Venus, obviously, if you have done something good, you have worked hard for something, so you have to be paid for that as well, which happens through this. So these are not earned in this life, they are rewards from the past life which come to you. So, friends, the key formula. So, now if you have to make a connection of the astrology with the karma theory, which many people talk about, specifically when they are talking about Saturn, Rahu, and Ketu. So, the key formula is Dasha, you're running Dasha, like it tells about the karmic theme. That in the Sun Dasha, what is going to be the karmic theme? It is going to be around the concerns of the fame and the recognition, like fall from the grace or attainment of promotion and the fame. It is dependent on Sun's position in your chart. So Dasha tells about the karmic theme and transit tells about the karmic timing. So together they will tell about that when the marriage will happen. So this is the spouse karma. When the child, why the childbirth delay is happening. This could be the family karma. I always tell about that. In a lot of the cases, it has been seen, like when there was a family property dispute happening between two families, and one of the family head conspired to kill the family, other person's family, his competitor, rival's family. And right at that time, when one person was conspiring, hurting or harming someone else, a child is born in the family. So that child will be born with the Pitra dosha. So we generally say why childbirth delays, and some problem will keep on getting carried on in the family lineage. So why childbirth delays or denial happens, the family karma. So why money rises suddenly, the past merit. We have seen those windfall gain which happens, which people maintain. It does not spoil their character, rather it builds them. So that generally happens. So why money rises suddenly? This could be the past merit. Why divorce happens? This could be the relationship karma. Why career collapse? So ego correction karma. Why spiritual growth accelerate? So this is the liberation karma. So the liberation karma, friends, this is also very important to know. So like people who end up abandoning all of their material worldly desires, and it's not like that. It can only happen like the four stages as it has been explained in the Sanatan Dharma. Like when you are young, you are in the brahmacharya, then you are in the grahast, then you are in the vanprasth, then you take the sannyas. So I'm not talking about that in certain families, because don't take this discussion attached to faith, religion. It is unbiased. It's about your actions. For if a planet wants to give and create that cycle of moksha, that trail of thoughts or thought process. So we see that lot many times in the Jan families in India, where like someone as young as 21, 24, and coming from a very rich family, a strong contender for a legacy, for a big inheritance, suddenly take a vow of celibacy or become a monk. And the whole community celebrates for that. So it can happen at any stage to anyone. So when deep karmic cycles complete, these show up. So now, because we have to connect it with astrology, so it can happen in the Ketu Dasha with the Jupiter transit. It can also happen when Saturn completing Sade Sati with Jupiter in the trine. I always say, like, that is the only reason I've been saying this thing for the Kumbh Rashi. Next year is very important because now Saturn is wrapping up. It's like, the way we say that it's like a handover stage when one person has to empty the office, another person has to take over, and generally the seniors who is like about to leave the office, all those staff members who were good to him, he gives something, he put a good word of mouth for them. So that is what I'm saying, that when Saturn completes the Sadhasati, and immediate after that, right around that time, if Saturn is also like Jupiter is also in trine, like which is happening next year. See, whatever I say that with proper research on the planets. So what is happening? Like Saturn being in the Pisces in the Uttara Bhadrapada, and Jupiter is going to be trying to it like from the month of June till October, when it is going to be in the Cancer exalted. So yes, that is the only reason I'm saying. Rahu completing a cycle with the Venus's support. Um, when Moon is or like the Atma Karaka receiving the benefic blessing. So these phases, like all these alignments which I mentioned over here, the time periods and all, these phases bring sudden peace. They can bring the loss of the desire, which is important for the liberation. detachment without the force, deep meditative power, deep meditation, and spiritual breakthroughs. So this is when karma ends, not when the life ends. So that's not what I mean over here. So, the final wisdom, friends, which is very important to know, that astrology does not decide the karma, it reveals when and how karma returns. That means something which you have sown, um, that will come back to you. So, astrology will not decide the way when people say that, Saturn Dasha is coming, that means, oh, you are a very good person, but you will be punished. Oh, your exalted Jupiter Dasha is coming just because you're a very good person, so you will be rewarded. No, it's something which you have done on your own. It's just the timing, it's just the timeline. It's like the Google Map. Google Map does not decide that which road goes where. It just tells that how the routes are. Or the weather department does not decide that, okay, let's rain this week so much in Vancouver that people are not being able to go outdoor for a run in the beach. No, they just tell about what is happening. So that means astrology just acts like a mirror. So it does not decide, it reveals. It just reveals when and how karma returns. And again, I would say the same thing. If you are an astrologer, and someone come to you, because 90% of the times people only visit an astrologer when they are going through problem and suffering. So someone going through the problems being caused by Saturn, Rahu, Ketu, more than the prediction, they need counseling. More than the prediction, they need counseling. Because I see, if someone is in the Saturn Dasha, if you just talk about someone is uh, very bothered by why marriage is not happening. And I see like many astrologers use this trick that they just have to push the client for just, it's 6 months or just give next year. Now the person will again leave the astrologer's office with this hope that something will happen in the next 6 months. You have to give the wisdom that why that delay is happening, and what you can utilize in that time when life is not giving you that responsibility. So all that counseling, that guidance is very important. So I remember there was this once this person, he booked his reading with me. So he was based in US. The way he was talking looks like he was financially well or doing very well, and from the southern part of India, I guess he was from. And yeah, he was in a rush. I'm in a Saturn Dasha. I have to get married soon, and this is my second marriage. How soon I can find a wife? Can you please tell me? I have already donated a black cow to a priest in Varanasi. I have already done this much anushthan, this much havan by 10 pandits. How fast can I expect? He was in a rush. How fast can I expect it? So it does not happen like that. So yes, good and bad karma are not rewards and punishments, they are lessons and completion. So it's as simple as that. So if in some area planets are tormenting you, so in a way you are being cleansed or purified, and that's where the wisdom comes, that you do not have to act with retribution, which is the domain of Scorpio, and create more problems for you. It's like a chain of the acts. So the tormenting which happens through the malefic planets, it's like an act of planets purifying you, and whatever the benefic planets rewards you, it's like blessing. And again, what you do in the face of that blessing which is coming to you, the whole chapter can be reversed in the next life. So this could be a case that in this life, Saturn is bringing so much suffering in your life that you became such a philanthropic and humanitarian person that you just started helping everyone, irrespective of like caring for your own. You started just giving back to the world and the community and the society. So imagine how your next life is going to be, next birth is going to be, or when that account will, it depends on how much karma you have, how much lifetimes or years it's gonna take to get consumed or nullified. Or if you are in a very good phase and period being given to you by planet Venus, and you are just using it for self gratification, lying, corrupting your character, so you can expect what will happen to you next life. So just a cycle which goes on. For the spiritual people, the human age cycle and graph hardly matters, because they know that whatever sanskaras they are developing in some lifetime, it will be utilized. So life and death is just a phase for them, for the pure and deep, authentic, credible spiritual people. So yes, friends, pain cleanses and the blessing confirm. And yeah, after that, the last slide, I on and off keep on getting those emails that, hey, Nipun, I want to make a donation. So I'm very grateful if you consider that. But I don't want to get into all of that conversation, because then it kind of becomes like a transactional thing. So yes, if you want to support in any way, this is the email ID for the PayPal donation, as much as if you like, because I get emails. That's the reason I'm mentioning it here. If you want to book your readings specifically for the 2026 anything, this is the link, which will be there in the description as well. And yes, if you like the video, subscribe the channel, share it, so it shows your token of appreciation for the work which I'm doing. So yes, friends, that's what the video was about. Now I have to get back to my Vishnu Sahasranam part, and Bij Mantra Mala for the Venus, which I'm doing. So okay, friends, thanks a lot for watching this video. And for further more updates and notification on the divine science of Vedic astrology, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow me on my Instagram account. Dhanyavad.